Students, we will discuss today the network and the internet security. So basic agenda is security of computer network and the internet in our society. Which type of precaution to reduce the risk of security concerns, personal safety issues, and legislation related to network and internet security. So computer crime, that is cyber crime, an illegal act involving a computer including theft of financial assets, manipulating data for personal advantage, act of sabotage, that is releasing a computer virus, shutting down a web server, any type of cybercrime, phishing, the internet scams. All computer users should be aware of security concerns and the precautions that can be taken. So basically, what are the cyber crimes are and how if we know about these crimes, then we can try to save our systems and our internets by using firewalls and different precautions so that nobody can hack our system, and we can reduce the risk of different cyber crimes in our system. Unauthorized access, that system which is not authorized, the person who is not authorized to use that system, how those person can access the system. So how unauthorized access, gaining access to a computer network, file or other resource without permission. Unauthorized use, not only access but use, using a computer resource for unapproved activities which are not approved to a specific person, and that particular activities are performed in an unauthorized manner. Both can be committed by insiders though within the organization and outsiders. Code of conduct used to specify rules for behavior, typically by a business or a school or an organization. Hacking. We have some ethical course of hacking as well, where we teach the student how to do hacking so that when they know about the hacking, they can reduce the risk of being hacked by the hackers. So hackers, there are an authorized ethical course of hacking as well, where ethical hackers learn how to secure their systems from unauthorized access. So using a computer to break into another computer system, a serious threat for individuals, business, and the country, national security, that is cyber terrorism, often performed via wireless networks. Today's many wireless networks are left unsecured. You are not many times you have seen that people do not put the password onto their Wi-Fi. So if they are not going to put the password, so anybody can access that particular network and can interfere anywhere in any. So there are risks, there are chances that your data will be snatched by the hacker. War driving, driving around an area to find a Wi-Fi network to access and use without authorization. Wi-Fi piggybacking, unauthorized access and unauthorized use. Again, accessing an unsecured Wi-Fi network, interception of communication, unsecured message, that is the message which are not encrypted, files, log on information, etc., can be intercepted using software designed for that purpose. New trend: intercept credit and debit card information during the card verification process. Packet sniffing software, in which the information of the users is available. Those packets they are sniffing by with the help of packet sniffing softwares. Access control system, again, protecting against unauthorized access and unauthorized users. So how we can protect against unauthorized access, unauthorized user? Access control system used to control access to facilities, computer networks, company database, and website accounts. Identification systems verify that the person trying to access the facility or the system is an authorized user, so that the chances of hacking is going to be reduced. Authentication system determine if the person is who he or she claims to be. Protecting again against unauthorized access and unauthorized users, a more possessed knowledge access system use information that only the authorized users should know, typically passwords should be strong and changed frequently, typically used in conjunction with usernames. Disadvantages: password can be forgotten. This is the disadvantages of using the typical passwords. If known password can be used by someone who is not an authorized user, then there is a chance that your systems can be hacked. So protecting against unauthorized access, unauthorized use, password strategies make the password at least 8 character and include both uppercase and lowercase letters as well as number and special symbols. Choose passwords that are not in a dictionary, for instance, mixed number and special characters with abbreviations or unusual words you will remember but that do not conform to a pattern a computer can readily figure out. Some defined words in the patterns can easily, which is the words which is available in the dictionary can easily be break if those parts but can easily be break by the hackers. They can break those password easily and get the system hacked. Determine a phrase that you can remember and use corresponding letters and symbols such as the first letter of each word for your password. For instance, the passphrase, "My son John is 5 years older than my daughters Abby," could be used to remember the corresponding strong password, MSGI55YOTMD @ So this is, if you know any phrase, then you can use the different words of those phrases, but you must know that which letter you are keeping in caps and which letter you are keeping in small caps. Develop a system using a basic password for all websites plus site specific information such as the first two letters of the site and a number of you will remember to create different passwords for each site, but still ones you can easily remember. For instance, you can combine your dog's name with the site initially followed by a number that is significant. So actually it is informing you that how you can use different types of passwords. So use a different password for your high sensitive activities such as online banking or stock trading that for other websites. So the password you're using for your email address and other things, and keep your keep a different password for your transactions, online bankings, so that uh, it will be more secure. Websites, if hackers determine your password on a low security sites which is easier to break into, he or she can use it on an account containing the sensitive data if you use the same password on both accounts. Change your password frequently, at least every 6 months. So some more instructions in order to secure your system from unauthorized access and unauthorized use. Cognitive authentication system use information the individual known or can easily remember, birthplace, pets, names, etc. used in many password recovery systems. Two-factor authentication, using two different methods to authenticate users, typically process knowledge password with either Metric feature is something you are, possessed object something you have. Hard token, physical object use. Soft token, these days OTP, that is one time password, supplies a one time password. So you can have your thumb, fingerprints, any biometric verification, and then you have your soft password, that is a one time password, OTP. So for example, 3421161, an OTP is sent to your phone. Second, enter that code here when prompted. So this is two factors authentication. The first time you log on with a new device, you must apply the OTP sent to your mobile phone in addition to your conventional username password combination. Possessed object access system. Use a physical object an individual has in his or her possession to identify that individual. Smart cards, magnetic cards, RFID encoded badges, USB security keys or tokens. So these are different ways. Disadvantages can be lost or used by an unauthorized individual. Biometric access systems identify user by a particular unique biological characteristics, fingerprint, hand, face, iris, voice, etc. Data read by biometric reader must match what is stored in a database. So there are certain biometric access identification system, fingerprint, veins reader, face recognition system, and iris, that is retina or iris recognition system. So these are different biometric. Controlling access to wireless network in general, Wi-Fi is less secure than wired networks. Security is usually off by default. Wireless networks should be secure. Wireless network owners should change the router's default password. Enable encryption. WPA2 is more secure than WPA. Enable other security features as needed. Can hide network name SSID so that nobody can access, nobody can the router as router ID is hidden. Because the SSID is being broadcast, the user can select the network from the list. The user must supply the appropriate network key or passphrase in order to connect to the network. So if the SSID is not broadcast, the user must add the network manually by using its SSID in order to log on. So if you already know, then you have to type, you can type your SSID and the password, but the person who don't know that what SSID you have kept, what type of network name you have kept, so he or she cannot access your router. But if SSID is broadcast, so by default, your router name is broadcast to every individual person who tries to connect his phone or his devices via Wi-Fi network. But you have only the password which is unknown to that specific user, and if he or she breaks that password, then your system can be hacked. So securing a wireless home routers, use routers configuration screen. You can see, be sure to change the access password, enter the SSID name, select the security mode, and type a secure passphrase. Can use MAC filtering. So how it works? Firewalls like the fences available on the borders of two different countries, so that nobody which is not allowed to enter from one to the other country from the border areas. In a similar way, in internet, in the network and internet world, we have firewalls which filter out unauthorized access, the unauthorized data which is not allowed to enter into our system. So we use different firewalls, a collection of hardware and software intended to protect computer or computer network from unauthorized access, typically two-way. So they check all incoming from the internet and outgoing to the internet traffic. Important for home computers that have a direct internet connections as well as for businesses. Work by closing down external communication ports. In this way, we can protect a firewall alerts you are notified when a new program requests access. So you can see firewall settings. You can specify settings for individual programs if desired. So this is how intrusion prevention system IPS. Intrusion, that is unauthorized access prevention system software, monitors traffic to try and detect possible attacks. If an attack is discovered, IPS software can immediately block it. Encryption. Encryption is another way to make your system secure. Methods of scaling content of email or file to make them unreadable if intercepted. Secure web pages use encryption, SSL, secure socket link, and EVSSL. So SSL is secure socket link. Private key encryption. Symmetric key encryption use a single key, most often used to encrypt files on a computer. If used to send files to other, the recipients and senders must agree on the private key to be used. Public key encryption, asymmetric key encryption use two keys, a private key and a public key to encrypt and decrypt the documents. So this is encryption, cryptography. This is entire a course in which we learn how to encrypt our data into a new form, so that if a person can uh, sniff our data or hack the information, access the information, then again that information is useless because it is encrypted and that person cannot uh, access that information. So protecting against unauthorized access, we have public keys and private keys concepts. With one key, it is going to be encrypted, and with the other key, it is going to be decrypted. Using public key, you can see using public key encryption to secure an email message, and the private key is used to decrypt it. The recipient receives the encrypted message and opens it using an email program. When the prompted by the program, the recipient enters his or her private key to decrypt the email, including the attached file, so it becomes readable again. So this is how they secure their data. For example, I'm going to tell you that what is the meaning of encryption. For example, I am sending a message, hi, hi, or hello, hello. So I have shifted these words. Instead of writing hello, I have shifted every letter with three. So H, I, J, K. So instead of H, I'm going to write down K. E. E shifted with three words. So instead of H, I have written K. Instead of E, F, G, H, I have written H. Instead of L. So in this way, I have written new phrases, but I only know that I have shifted these words in three, and the receivers knows that why he or she has to re decrease the three letters behind, so that in order to read the actual message. So this is how encryption works. Web-based encrypted emails, various kinds of encryptions, mostly military purposes encryptions are used in order when the military messages, emails are communicated. 2048-bit to 56 character keys so that it is difficult to hack. So we will keep our content till here, and thank you, students.